What's up, guys? It's Joel Puncher's Paintball. We got Doug over here pulling up some media for us. Needless to say, guys, we are doing the Dye DLS versus the Planet Eclipse LV2 comparison video. Hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you guys do, subscribe, because a lot of you aren't. Like the video, and then where's the link at?
Oh, link's going to be in the description.
Yep. See you after the intro.
I'm so free.
Alright, guys, so here we are. We've got the brand new, largely anticipated, I should say, not expected, but anticipated Dye DLS. I've got the Planet Eclipse LV2 over here that's been out for a few months now, and we are here to do a comparison between the two. Doug, we've got our handy-dandy, trusty checkoff list here, and we are here to talk about everything. So first thing up is packaging between the two. Doug, you want to lead the charge?
Out of the way. So, there's something that comes with both of these, actually, in terms of packaging that we tend to dispose of here at Punisher's Paintball. The sleeve boxes as well as that one.
So this one actually comes with a box and a sleeve.
Yeah, that one has both, which is the bane of Joel's existence. So you do get a little bit of actually branding on this one instead of just a dye symbol, which is cool.
Yep.
But as far as the actual packaging itself, you get your own warranty card. You get a nice little startup guide with O-ring sizes on it, which is pretty convenient. You have space for barrels. You have your parts kit, which is actually pretty nicely labeled.
It is.
On these guys, and
Yeah,
it does
it
have
is.
some sizing information as well. In here, you have your USB charging cable, because this is a chargeable only paintball gun. And then, flip to the other side here, very simple on the gun side. You have your now branded barrel cover. You have your less than desirable new updated dye multi-tool. You have your digital manual with everything else that you would need for this paintball gun, and you have lube, which is, what is this, like an ounce, I think?
I think it's like a quarter of an ounce. It's not much.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you a whole heck of a lot. So the packaging here, pretty basic, pretty simple. The case itself is definitely very hard. You've never even seen a dent, you said, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, it will definitely be protective, but does not feel like it's any kind of aluminum or any kind of metal on the inside, and no carrying handle. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Joel with the LV2 case.
I will say for $1,700, $1,900, you would think that
Kind
they
of
would
expected a little more, like at least a carrying
Agreed.
handle or some other
And
extra little goodies.
It doesn't
in
come
here.
with the Moss Airboard, which is fine, but like at least include some type of certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, other than just a warranty card. If this is
A really
one
nice
of 500,
case, whatever the
then,
case may be.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I know that, like when Planet's done limited runs, like the GSL, for example, like came with a full barrel kit and all that. I will say for the PGA colors though, you get the carbon fiber. We'll get into that. All right, so for the Planet Eclipse case, you got the box and the sleeve. Who cares? We've got the case itself. It comes with a nice set of Allen keys. I like the fact that it's actually Allen keys instead of the multi-tool, because the multi-tool can be really tough to get into either the new or the old.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
This
Both
doesn't
of
give you a
them.
lot of flexibility.
Yeah, as far as like getting into tight spaces and all that stuff. You get a full color manual. Doug.
We have a startup manual and a digital manual.
We love
the full color manuals from Planet Eclipse.
Yes. Nice barrel cover. We've got a parts kit that's all labeled. And then if you guys are new to watching our channel, hopefully, because I'm tired, I'm sure that some people are like, Joel, will you shut up about the color manuals and the parts kits? But everything is labeled. You've got a layout of every part of this LV2 in here, so you can match all the O-rings. There's no question marks. Super, super nice, the Planet Eclipse does. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could fit 5 inserts in here, because you can use the back, put an insert in the back, which goes right here.
Yep.
And then you've got a spot for 4 extra. The other nice thing is, with the CS3 and the LV2, is that you've got like a little
strap
retainer
that down?
here, so it's not flopping.
Yeah, there's nothing that ties this bad boy down whatsoever. This
Packaging for me is LV2.
is free like the wind. I agree. LV2 for packaging.
Next,
Trade up here.
Barrel.
Next is going to be the barrel. So this is your dye, ULS barrel, right?
just say it, Doug.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say anything. Just say what you want to say.
S63.
I hate dye barrels.
Listen, people like them. Joel likes the dye barrel for some reason.
All right, so the S63 barrel is nice. It's got this porting, lots of porting. It does come with this sleeve, which is nice. I tend to notice myself grabbing this a lot.
I do too.
To,
I think that's what it's for,
to
right?
tighten it down, yeah. And you can also customize it with different colors, which is also nice with the FL rubber sleeve kit that they offer. It is a 3-piece barrel system, meaning that you are going to unscrew it. It is autococker thread. Both are autococker thread. And then the insert slides out the back. It is a longer control bore as compared to the ULS. But for me, I love the sound signature of the ULS, and I love that it's a 2-piece barrel system instead of a 3-piece barrel system.
So Bongo likes less pieces, and he likes that it sounds prettier. I like that I have
pretty
more
much.
barrel sizes.
Would you call me Bungo?
Bongo.
Bongo? I don't know what that means, but I'm alright with it. Whatever. It's my new nickname.
Something cool too with that I'm actually realizing just now about the S63. If you were to compare it to like a Freak or whatever, I would worry that if you had, for some reason, if you got mud in your barrel tip, had to take it off, and you had to shoot just with your insert on the Freak, that it would like come out. You'd have to hold it. With that, because it's locked at the back the way that it is,
Yeah.
it's not a concern. So
That is a good point.
if you do spike your gun and have to only play with your insert and your barrel back, you could actually do it and not worry about shooting somebody with the insert. So
Good point.
that's a fun little point.
Good
But
point,
barrel
Doug. Good point.
barrel for this, we're going to disagree, and each one's going to get a point. Otherwise, feed neck.
LV2 wins.
LV2 is lower. I like the thumb wheel.
LV2 is
this
lower,
doesn't even
it's
have
got
a
a-
thumb wheel. Like, yeah. For a $1,800 gun, no thumb wheel. Interesting.
$1,700 to $1,900 gun, yeah. It comes with the same Feedneck guys as the DSR Plus, and the reason why we're shaking our head is because the M3 Plus has a thumb wheel and it's lower, and instead of putting that or an improved version of that on the DLS, they went backwards and put the mid-end Feedneck on the high-end.
Cost
limited
savings, am I
edition.
right?
All right. So, anyways, next up is eyes.
I'm actually a fan of the eye pipe. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'll demonstrate here, but I think this is a really easy way to clean. If you ever get so much paint and your gun becomes that much of a flamethrower that you have to actually get into the rest of it and get really in there and clean it, then good job. But for me, this will mostly do it. It's got your detents, so I know Billy made a point too that it like helps like reduce any kind of wear in the actual breech as well over
That is a good
time.
point.
So I think that's totally valid. $15 keeps your breech nice, tight, and sealed. So, but I know that the eye system on the LV has been around for, they haven't changed it really in a while, right?
No, they haven't.
So
Planet Eclipse has not gone unique with that. Now the CS3, the CS2, and
Yep.
the 170R
they have that mirrored eye system.
have that mirrored eye system, so there is no cables, which is really nice. The LV2 does not have that, but what the LV2 does have that the LV 1.6 did not is toollessness.
That's right. Toolless eye cover. removal.
Toollessness. All right, so yeah, with the LV2 guys, you just pop it off right here, and then there's a tab similar to like the CS tab or the 170 tab. And you
Slider back,
just drop.
just like that.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully next time without all the droppage.
All the noise in there. So
But yeah, so needless to say, it is improved on this. I do say needless to say a ton. But shout out Chris Smeary. I hope he watches this. So yeah, but I think that like it's a good eye system. I don't think that it's better than the eye sleeve. I will give it to
convenience. I'll give it to
because
the
like with
DLS.
my M3 Plus, I take the bolt system out. I take that eye pipe out. I squeegee run it through one time, cleans it perfectly.
You're good to go.
And then and then past that,
As long as you
that's
didn't
about it.
screw your stuff up so bad that you need to relube your bolt, that's all you need is just a squeegee, run it through everything, and you're good to go.
Well, this is new. I noticed something just dropped. Part of the grips just fell off on this LV2.
Wow. Oh, for the button.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I've never ever had that happen before. Not that it's a big issue, it's just kind of interesting. Okay, next.
Next category after eyes is going to be battery changing or charging. So this is a rechargeable marker versus one where you can just replace
9
the
volt.
batteries. 9 volt.
Also toolless.
Also toolless. So for me, I don't like guns that charge. I think it's stupid. So I'm going to give battery to LV2. We don't know anything about how long the battery will really last on the DLS, right? It's the same as the M3.
Which was decent. You know, like I could, with M3, I could get probably like 2 or 3 practices out of it. Probably 4 if I really like pushed it.
What about at
but
an
I
event?
always charged it. What's that?
What about at an event?
What do you mean?
At a tournament?
Oh,
Like
no.
You're fine
yeah.
for the day of a tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would charge it, and I would still have like 80-90% at the end of the tournament, and that's with putting 10,000-15,000 shots on it over the weekend.
So battery life is good, but for me again, the convenience of oh man, I didn't charge my gun. Now I gotta go sit in my car for half an hour. Like,
and the other thing too is Dye still has not got with the program. They are still using freaking micro USB instead of using USB-C, and the micro USB over time tends to wear more difficult than the USB-C, which is a little bit bigger of a port.
And there's just less little pieces that can fall off of it. So LV2.
Agreed. Same.
Next up, trigger.
I hate both.
I don't hate the LV2 trigger. I can't stand this. This is the opposite of natural ergonomics of your fingers.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it till the cows come home. And I don't have cows. So, look at this. Ready? This finger has to travel so much further than this one. Makes no sense. Why not have it be equidistant for both of them, like with a S trigger or with a, what's the deuce triggers?
All right, I think that, like, you're being a little bitch, personally. I don't think it's that bad. I think it feels decent. You don't like deuces in general.
I don't like, but I take a deuce over that. That's backwards.
I'm not one way or another towards it. One thing to mention is that the way you tune this trigger is your pre-travel and your post-travel are actually right here, which is kind of interesting, instead of being like on the actual face of the trigger. So there is that portion of it, and then to adjust the magnetic return, you actually have to go in this little area right here. So that's kind of like, I don't know, I would say it's a little bit easier for the pre-travel and the post-travel, but for the magnetic return, it's not as easy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know why, but they went away from the LV1 trigger, so they went to the one, or
that's like the 170 trigger, right?
it's the 170 trigger, and I don't know why they did that.
It's not a good trigger.
It was, well, from a trigger pull perspective, the LV1 trigger was very, very smooth.
Yep.
You could tell that, like, I don't know if it was more bearings in it or what, but it was very, very smooth. And you could tell it was high quality. They went away from it on this. If I'm going to give it to one or the other, though, I'm probably going to pick... I'm actually going to pick the DLS.
What?
You're going to pick the LV2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the rake trigger. I just don't.
All right. Board/programming.
Joel's going to pick the DLS.
I am going to pick the
Joel
DLS.
thinks that dye guns are very intuitive after you sit down with it for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Well, darn.
To me, that's not intuitive.
Imagine that.
That's
A
not
millennial having to spend 20 minutes to figure out his gun.
So here's the thing. I haven't messed with one of those in over a year since I did this LV 1.6 video where I finally learned how to program Planet guns. Even then, it took about 30 seconds of thinking to remember, and I could pull it back and actually do it. So I think that is far more intuitive, way easier to get to, and way simpler to in general, I will say it's simpler to program.
And they also improved the resolution on this.
They did.
It's better.
You can see it way better in direct sunlight, which is awesome.
So that's really nice.
My big thing that I will give to Dye is that the display is super nice. It's full color. It's like you get a lot of different information and analytics. Like, sure, that's cool. That's cute. But you're going to use any of that when you're playing the NXL? I ain't seen you use it once. Don't even talk. I don't want to hear it.
I will say this. I do use it like when I'm hanging out and I'm just messing around with my gun, like, trying to tune it up and get it ready for a tournament. I mess around with it. Like, I've got my name in it and all that stuff.
You put your name in your underwear too?
No. It's always between Big Boy or Punisher. One or two. All right. I'm gonna give the board to the DLS. I'm gonna give the programming to the LV2.
You even have.
Yeah, it says board/programming, bro. All right. Next is ASA.
We're gonna disagree on this one too. He likes the slaps. I think it's weird. Like, I think there's too many ways that it can get stuck. He's also had it fall off of his gun before, so there's that.
Once out of the hundreds of times that I've engaged and disengaged a slaps ASA, you're gonna hold that one frickin' time.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
I gotta go with what I got.
Both,
That's all I got.
All right, so they're both really good. I like the ease of not having to press this button, guys, whereas with the slaps, you just pull it off, pop it on. Boom.
I just tried to slap it. It didn't work. There you go. I had to try it twice.
And Doug's directionally challenged. Anyways, with this, you just pop it on, pop it off. That's really nice. With the slaps ASA, it's They're both really good ASAs, don't get me wrong, but I just like how easy of a function, and I like when it's engaged, how contoured it is. I mean, granted, I guess so is the Pops ASA.
They did update that, I will say, for the CS3, but as far as these two guns do go, I will say, sure, that is more chunky. This is a little more kind of contoured and smooth, so, but I like functionality-wise, I like the Pops.
Dang it, I thought you were going to agree with me.
No, there's few
All right.
moving parts, I like the Pops.
Next up, guys, is ergonomics between the two.
I'll give it to the DLS.
Oh,
that
wow.
Listen,
Oh, wow.
man, that's a huge gun. The LV2 is a huge gun. It is
LV2.
nicer than the 1.6 because you can now just fully wrap in that foregrip. You have no AT pipe anymore, but I will say the UL frame and this foregrip do fit my hands better than the LV series of guns.
Now, I will say, guys, if you're a bigger guy, you're probably actually going to really like how this gun feels. I noticed when I first started using this gun, I really liked the ergonomics. Even with a size 90 tank, I still felt like it wasn't too big for me.
Did you feel like you could control it?
So, yeah, and I felt like when I pull up, because it is hot, like a overall height-wise, it's a little bit bigger. When I pull up, it's right in my line of sight, whereas like with my Lux, I've noticed that it sits a little bit lower. So with LV2, there's that. I think overall, though, ergonomics, I'm going to agree with you. I really like the ergonomics of my M3 Plus. This is very, very similar as far as like how it feels and all that stuff to the M3 Plus. So I am going to pick the DLS, but they're both really close.
Next up is going to be
wait.
Hold on, gotta grab the scale. 1 second. DRB.
All right, so we're back with the scale.
Okay.
And we are here to weigh both of them. We are going to slide this back here a little bit just so I can see it a little bit easier, guys. And we are going to zero it. All right, so here we go. The Dye DLS. This is with batteries and with barrel. The Dye DLS comes in at 2 pounds, 0.3 ounces. The Planet Eclipse LV2 with barrel comes in at 2 pounds, 1.8 ounces. So the weight, the Dye DLS wins between the two.
That is objective. I can't argue that point.
1.5 ounces lighter-ish. Okay, next, guys, is build quality / reliability.
No, next is maintenance.
Oh, next is maintenance. I'm sorry. My bad, Doug. All right, next is maintenance.
I'm not good at taking care of guns, man. I don't know what you think.
I'm going to actually say that the DLS is easier because with the DLS, you've only got an HPR and a bolt system.
Oh, there's no
With
LPR,
this,
right?
you have the rammer and the LPR and the HPR. Very, very simple to get to, guys, and it's all toolless. So from that perspective, like with this gun, with that gun, you're probably just going to have to lube it. Whereas like with this, you got to take the rammer out and oil the rammer. And then with the HPR and the LPR, they're both right here. This clip comes off and both of them come out. So it is toolless, which is way better than how the LV 1.6 was. You had to use Allen keys and it was a pain in the butt. So in that sense of the fashion, I would say that the LV2 is easier than the LV 1.6.
Than its predecessor, but not necessarily easier.
Right. Thank you, Doug. I can't talk today.
than the DLS. So
Yeah.
that's fair enough. And is it also like, do you pull this sleeve off to get to the reg here? Or do you have to pull
No.
the sleeve
So
off?
it actually uses like a
comes-
multi-tool. Actually, I
I
take
see.
that back, man. I'm gonna say that maintenance is probably easier on the LV2. Now that I think about it,
What makes you
because
say?
well, because you do have the HPR and the LPR on the LV2, and you got the rammer. But I will say this, like the taking that HPR out is a lot harder than this.
Okay.
Where like you need tools, whereas like you don't need tools on this. And if you keep this rammer cap just barely tightened, you can actually just untie it with your
finger
hand.
tight to get
So
the rammer
like
out.
technically you can maintenance the LPR, the HPR, and the rammer with no tools. Whereas with that, you're 100% going to need tools. So in that sense, I'm going to give the maintenance to the LV2.
And keep in mind, these are very price comparable guns. These are in the same kind of price range of that premium level. So this should, theoretically stack up to have more toolless features than that. So
Right.
fair enough. We'll go to the LV2. Sorry,
Right.
my phone just shut automatically on me, guys. All right, so next up, then it's build quality reliability. Planet Eclipse.
Planet Eclipse. Next.
Tech support. Planet Eclipse.
Planet Eclipse because they go to
show up to
more
regional
events than Dye does.
Dye is at national events, which cool. It's good, but
So any of the events that we've been to in the Midwest, guys, and it's just past MSXL for us. I'm also including the scenario events that we take our booth to and everything. their dye is not there, whereas most of the time Planet Eclipse has some sort of boot there. So with that said,
Planet Eclipse is
Planet
going
Eclipse.
to have better tech support in general.
Yeah. The other thing too, guys, that we should mention is that dye has a really good turnaround. If you aren't at an event and you just need a repair, you can ship it to Billy Wing in Florida, and he repairs your guns and does a very quick turnaround, does a great job on those. Planet Eclipse does a really good job turning around and all that stuff too. So in that sense, if you're just like at home and you need something repaired, they're pretty similar.
Next up is upgradability. So, you don't really know of anything?
Yeah, you can't really do much. You can't really do much on any of these guys. So the barrel system on this, you can buy extra S63 inserts. There's like 4 or 5 inserts, whereas there's 4 backs.
Yeah,
there's a 9.2, 8.8, 8.4, and an 8.0 for the ULS backs. I think there's a 9.2. At least there used to be a 9.2 for the regular UL. Needless to say, it's really... there it is again.
Just keep the counter.
There's 3 backs for that. There's more inserts for this. You can also get different triggers. Because it is the 1R style, if you want to buy Infamous, you can buy the 1R trigger, which is like the deuce trigger for the LV2, whereas like there's no extra triggers. Granted, the DLS is a limited marker, and it's
That's the thing. It's kind of
so-
supposed to be its own limited thing. I'm sure somebody will make a trigger. I'm
Yeah.
sure. But
Yep.
really, the whole draw to the DLS was the Paragon bolt. Like, that was their whole thing, is it was that collab
Right.
with Paragon. So.
Right. Probably not going to be many upgrades for the bolt system.
Nope.
Because it is so unique. All right. And so that wraps it up, guys, as far as counts between the two. So now we are going to go out. We're going to shoot them shot quality wise and everything else like that. And then we'll get you guys a final decision between the two.
All right. So, yeah, guys, Joel got busy again. A lot of customers. It's the holidays. You know how it is. You got to be on the phone and help people out. So I'm going to start off with the DLS. I'll shoot this bad boy first here after I safety up. All right, so first I'm going to chrono for you guys here. I'm going to go. Oh, I have to turn the air on. That helps. Ready? Slaps. Slap. That's all. Look at that. Bam, bam.
About that.
Anyway, so 297, 295, 289. I'll take it. All right. Shots to the DLS.
Pow pow.
All right, I'll stick with that for now. We are shooting HK level 2, by the way. It's a little greasy, so I had to try to clean some of this stuff off, but I did my best using our squirrel sacks here.
Ooh.
These bad boys out. Let's
Speaking
go.
of safety first, I don't want to fall into the pit.
Yeah, right. Alrighty. Here's our LV2. I'll chrono this bad boy as well. Coming in at 294, 277, 285, 299. All right, so we got a random 270, but overarchingly we're in the 290, so I'm gonna rip this thing. Yeah, all right. Let's talk about that. All right, so I got to shoot them. Joel had to take some calls because you guys keep blowing them up today. So, but you have also shot both of these more than I
Yeah,
have
I've
in general,
shot-
so
I've-
you know what you're talking about. So my big points were that just, like we've said before, the shot on the DLS is cool. It's poppy, it's snappy, it's neat, but like overall, man, shot quality, I really preferred the LV2 like quite a bit. I preferred
You
the
actually like the LV2 a lot.
I do.
Just in general.
I do.
I agree. Overall shot quality between the two, LV2 100% is going to take it. Paint handling between the two,
That'll be similar. I mean, they're both high-end guns. We've seen them both shoot pretty brutal paint.
agreed.
I will say though, that with the LV2, like I would trust it to more consistently handle brittle paint.
Agreed.
I would say just because I can feel it operating so lightly, whereas this feels harsh. So.
Yeah, I would say in cold weather, I think that I trust the LV2 more than I trust the DLS in
Yep.
cold weather with brittle paint.
To not make soup. Yep.
Yeah, so there is that. Efficiency-wise, the DLS is going to win 100%. You might be able to tune this if you put the light rammer in and do everything that you can and lower the draw and all that stuff. You might be able to get it close, but then you got to do all that stuff, right?
Yeah, out of the box.
Right. Out of the box, DLS wins by far. It's like almost 1,900 shots on a 77. This is like...
For the
not
life of me,
even
I can't
close.
remember what the LV2 got.
I can't remember either, but it's like 1,500 shots. Pretty basic, like your standard number.
That's about what every gun should
So yeah, from efficiency standpoint, DLS is winning. Shot quality, the LV2 is winning. I think from an overall value perspective, we need to have the discussion.
What is the price point of the LV2?
1600,
16 versus
1695 for the base colors,
and then 18. No,
1795
for the PGA.
Or no, 1895. Yeah,
Yeah.
1895 for the PGA colors. LV2, in my opinion, 100%.
Better servicing, better shot quality. Really, the only arguable points that the DLS has over it is that efficiency and a cooler looking board, and eyes are easier to maintain. I don't know.
That's
for
true.
me, that's not worth another $100.
Yeah. I would agree with
That
that.
shot
Doug.
quality is kind of king.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the LV2 just shoots so smooth, and there's a lot of tunability with LV2, so you can also kind of like do different things with it, which is really nice. If you want to make it like a little bit snappier, you can do that. If you want to make it super, super smooth, you can do that. And really, I mean, we're making, to your point, like the biggest thing is efficiency with the DLS. But then other than that, man, like, it's minor things, and it's at a cheaper price point for the LV2. I'm picking LV2 between the two.
I am too. So guys, thank you for staying tuned to this here and watching all this, talking to me and Joel today. Again, please subscribe. Like we know you're watching. Just please subscribe. Like the video, drop a comment, let us know what you thought. Dude, give us any other ideas too if you want to see some other comparisons, and we will catch you next time.
I'm so free.